Any opposed? Hearing none, will carry. There are no previous minutes since we haven't met in, I don't know, 20 months. And that takes us to number 4, which is the COVID requirements.
Which is basically where I left off.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I'll continue on with that spiel at this point. So basically the requirements are that we have to check for vaccination status. And Stephanie, feel free to jump in wherever you need to. We also have to do the screening for contact tracing, all those fun things that every time you walk into a restaurant or another building we have to do currently. That will be the responsibility of this board. So we do it now at the arena where basically anybody coming in, we have to check for the vaccination status. Stephanie, is there any exemptions to that, being double vaxxed? Or we?
Sorry, my computer's a bit slow. The only exemption would be for the community halls. So the arenas are a little bit different. There's a few different exemptions there. For the community halls, the only exemption other than the age, which would be youth and children 11 or younger, would be a medical exemption. So there's no religious exemptions. There's nothing, there's no other exemptions other than medical, and then whatever's required based on age.
Okay, great, thank you. So this is where things change for you guys. Where previously we would simply do a hall booking, we would let people in and away we go. So we won't be able to do that anymore. We're gonna have to have somebody attending the hall at all times to make sure people are coming in later on or after the fact or leaving and coming back. We have to double check them. We have to check them. So anytime we're open, somebody needs to be present to oversee this. The only other
Curtis,
thing that's right. Yep.
Do you mean that one of the board members will have to be there to check every person's vaccination as they go in?
That is correct.
Just so you know, my eyes are popping out of my head right now. So go on.
Okay, so the only other thing that's really changed beyond that is the bookings, which is what I first sent you in the first email, Kyle, about the process. We're going to do that directly to City Hall. I know how you used to do it. We're not going to be doing that anymore. The payments will go directly into City Hall. Insurance will be done on a pre-dated form, which was in that package as well, which is pretty straightforward. It's slightly different than the way we used to do it, just to basically streamline the process and make sure that we don't have any more bumps in the road. We'll call it that. And we're standardizing that process. It doesn't mean that it's going to change your responsibilities in any way in terms of bookings or people wanting to see the hall or being the contact. It just means that the forms are now standardized and would go straight to City Hall.
And so if somebody wants to see the hall, Kyle doesn't have to meet them there and make sure they're vaccinated?
He would have to meet them there and make sure they're vaccinated, yes. So
the city's only taking care of the money and we have to take care of every showing and anybody coming in to make sure they're double vaxxed as a volunteer. Every time it's rented.
As a board of management, that is your assignment, yes.
That's insane.
That's okay.
That's
guys,
crazy, Curtis.
But that is just
Debbie, absolutely.
Hang on. Listen to me for 1 second. That's as per your mandate, which was outlined by a committee. That was what the board mandates. What's the correct terminology here, Joanne, that I'm looking for? It's not the mandate, it's the terms of reference.
That's right.
Okay, so that's how your terms of reference read, is that you guys oversee the operations of the board and the city, or sorry, the facility, and the city simply gives you guidance.
Takes care of the money.
Correct.
I'm actually unmuted. You heard me laughing earlier. I was muted when you said it. Sorry. That's a lot of responsibility as a volunteer. That is, it's hard to swallow, to be honest. I don't know about you, Kyle, but to meet every person there to make sure they're double vaxxed, and any person that enters the building who rents it, we have to be there and make sure they're double vaxxed.
That's insane.
That's completely insane. As a volunteer, I cannot commit to that. I can't. It's, you know,
Guys,
okay,
understood.
Tuesdays karate, Wednesdays, you know, fitness, and it's as like, I want to give back to the community, but
Okay, so as the board, this is where it gets a little easier. You guys can control when and how you book, if that makes sense. So every night, sure, understandable, that's a lot.
yeah,
Is it
every Tuesday
specific
night there's
nights?
karate. I got to go make sure that everybody's double vaxxed. Oh, I know you. You came last week. I know you. Oh, I don't know you. Where's your vax?
As
Curtis,
a board,
like,
you can say, we're not going to do Tuesday nights. We're going to only do certain nights of the week.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I'm speechless. I'm really just speechless. Sorry. I'm going to mute myself again.
But that's the provincial mandate. So we have to follow the provincial legislation.
So at the arena, do the city staff check backs every time somebody comes in, or is that a volunteer that sits at the arena?
It is city staff at this point, but again, we don't have a board of management, so that is city staff responsibility.
The arena is run by the city and not a board.
That's correct.
Port Robinson, do they have somebody checking their vax every time somebody goes in and uses it?
Yes, they do. That is correct.
Hey, Kyle, we can use it for every weekend we want.
yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I'm quiet because I really don't know how to respond to this.
I'm
sure you're not surprised at our reaction there, Curtis and Joanne. It's
a lot to take in. Agreed. Yes.
A lot to take in. We're here for volunteers, and I've been volunteering on this board for many, many, many years, as well as Kyle. And that's a lot to swallow. That's too much for any. And like I said, which other city are volunteers? The volunteer firemen? Do you have somebody sitting there every time there's a vax? When you have a food drive, do you have somebody there making sure people are vaxxed? And not only that, it's a tough question to ask people that aren't.
Understood. Yeah.
It's, you know, okay, I'm not vaxxed. Well, you need to be here. Well, it's Tuesday night karate. I'm sorry, I can't let you in. Like, there's no way I'm putting myself in that position, and I can't believe any volunteer would. To be honest, that I think the city should step up, or I don't know. What's your plan?
You're putting volunteers in a potentially hostile situation here with no support, no backup, no nothing. You want us to stand at the door to a building and
on Tuesday for karate, and Wednesday and
Saturday
but
night not
even
that. Not even that though. That you want us to stand there and confirm everyone's status as though we're a restaurant. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Believe me, I've been working in hospitality since COVID started, and there's a lot of angry people out there. They don't like being told they can't come in.
Exactly.
And it's volatile. And I don't see someone standing there without support. What am I going to do when someone freaks out? They can't come in. They can't drop their kid out. Like,
what if I'm not double vaccinated, Curtis?
I'm not putting myself in a situation where someone wants to come after me because they don't like my answer that they got to leave or they can't stay.
What if I'm not vaccinated?
So Debbie, the second part of the agenda there is for me to let the committee members know that they need to be double vaccinated. If they want to be part of the committee or the board, I guess, because it's part of the city's protocols.
It was just a question. I'm double vaxxed, but it was a question.
Yep, and that was my answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For having it.
No problem.
But
guys, Guys, again, I appreciate everything you're saying. Trust me, we live it every day as well, Kyle, and I can only imagine what you folks go through too. Those are the provincial mandates that we are obligated to follow. And I do appreciate your comments and I understand them. Trust me, I really do. So this board has the opportunity to choose how they want to go ahead. If you wish to proceed with opening, if you don't wish to proceed with opening, or if it's a limited opening, that's really this board's decision to facilitate. So I'll leave that thought with you and you guys feel free to throw comments around. I'm okay with it. But that's the requirement under the provincial legislation, not the city. That's the provincial regs. So it's tough.
So
Yes.
can I just clarify? Somebody wants to book it on a Saturday night. They call the city, you take care of all the bookings. You email me or Kyle and say, 8 o'clock, you got to be there, open up and check and make sure everybody's vaxxed.
No, sorry. So let me clarify the process. Kyle or the board will be the main contact for any residents wishing to book the facility. All that we will do is essentially provide documentation of insurance, the rental applications, and we will go through the payment. Again, Stephanie, sorry, you let Stephanie talk to this part. She's already set it all up, but the board, again, will be
So
the
again,
main
they
contact.
contact me through Facebook. Debbie, I want to rent the Allanburg Community Center. Get in touch with her. She's going to take the payment, take care of the insurance and everything. And then I'm responsible on the Saturday night to make sure everybody's double vaxxed.
Yes, so there's a couple things that would happen. So people have a couple of different options. They can either people in the community who already know you and have your contact information might reach out and request a booking, and that's fine. You would direct them to either the online booking system or provide them the sheets and they can bring them to, it's actually not City Hall, it's going to be our Public Works building. That's the one option, but either way, before we put the booking into our system, we would get one of your sign off to say that you're going to be there. Otherwise, we will say, sorry, no, that date's not available. And if that's the case, it's just simply, and anybody who contacts us, same thing. Oh, let us check. We'll check with you. If it's not available, it's not available. That'll be it.
Okay, it was just a question. I've had people contact me through Facebook. I don't know, trying to book it. And, you know,
Yeah.
I've always directed them to either this way or that way. So now it's okay. Myself, am I available Saturday night to monitor your event?
For free, because you're a
For free.
volunteer.
For free, because I'm a volunteer. I'm going to go monitor your event for 3 hours for free, but call the city. They'll take care of your insurance. And I understand. I get it. And I understand. I get it. And
It's
now we have no renters.
It's
Use
definitely
it.
hard for everyone. COVID is not
Use
something
it or
we're
lose it.
expecting.
Do you remember that, Kyle? Were you at that meeting when they wanted to shut us down? Use it or lose it. We had a renter every day, Monday to Friday, renters every night of the week, and steak and doughs every other weekend. Use it or lose it. We're going to lose it here. Just saying. And I understand as a city, you can't expect volunteers to do what you're asking, as me and Kyle. Is there anyone else join this meeting? I'm not sure how to look, but is there anybody else here, Dana or Jeremy, or how do we reach quorum?
Yeah, you have
Put it this
Jeremy
way,
here
because
as well.
we were in this spot last Thursday. Is Dana or Jeremy here?
Debbie,
Yeah, can
you
you
have,
hear me?
yeah, you have Jay, yourself, and Kyle, so you have quorum.
Jay, do you have anything to say?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I just didn't know if you could hear me. Yeah,
What's your
I mean,
thoughts?
well, I obviously don't agree with it, but that's beside the point. I just don't know, like you said, if it's a Saturday night or even a regular night, are we
Regular
expected
night.
to do a whole, like the whole time or just when they come in?
Good question.
Somebody would need to be present at the door because if they leave and come back, or somebody shows up late, then same rules need to apply.
For the duration.
So the whole rental then? Can we appoint people?
Another good question.
from the volunteer, the rental.
Well, either the rental or can, like a spouse.
My cousin go over and check everybody's vax.
Somebody else from the community.
Yes, exactly.
My understanding from the legislation is that it needs to be somebody represented by the city.
That's a no.
So is it the same legislation as last year when each hockey team had to have a representative at the door checking?
They did that. So sorry, they did that as well, but we also had a representation. So it's the rules have changed, but different situations. But yes.
What's on the books right now? Like what things have people approached you and expressed interest in booking? Like, once in a while, yeah, I don't mind being up there for an hour or two, for something like, yeah, but
I agree.
I'm not sitting there for 6 or 8 hours for a
Nope.
stag and doe or for a wedding reception. I'm sorry, that is not that's a no-go.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know if that means that, Stephanie Curtis, that you're going to look at just simply limiting the events to, or the bookings rather, not events, but the usage
To when we're available.
Well, yeah, but it's not just when we're available, but what's just simply reasonable, like, 1 hour time block, 2 hour time block, not a 6 or 8 or 10 hour time block. Like, so are we saying that those functions are just a thing of the past now, or at least in the meantime? Is that what we're saying? Because
Kyle, what I'm saying is that is this board's decision. So if you want to limit it to an hour at a time, Friday nights, that's this board's decision.
But what sorts of things have people approached you about so far? Like, do you have anything that's kind of simmering right now that people are waiting to book? They're just waiting for us to sign off on it?
My message has been consistent. I haven't said anything. I haven't given any promises. All I have said is that it's closed for the foreseeable future. When it's available, it'll be posted on our website, but we're not taking any bookings. The inquiries that I've had, I would say, are the normal inquiries. The Saturday night kind of family dinners and gatherings, those types of bookings. And then I know Seaway Dog Kennel wants to come back eventually. I haven't reached out to them, and I haven't reached out to anyone, to be honest with you, because realistically, there are a few different things that could happen, right? If you guys chose not to open for the foreseeable future, we don't know how long the COVID restrictions are going to be in place. If we get back to a point where it's contact tracing only and it's not the vaccine certificate protocol, we might not need you to stay at the facility for the duration. And so if that were to happen, for example, in February, this might only be a 2-month process, right? Or if you're only limiting yourself to 1 rental a week for 2 months, that's another option. So I haven't given anything out to the public in terms of what we're going to be doing, what the future is going to look like, essentially. Once we have a plan ironed out, that's when we'll start releasing information to the public. But there's nothing committed. So I don't want you guys to think that we've committed anything. There's nothing committed at all.
Okay, I hear you. So it's wholly up to us what we're going to sign off on.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
Yeah.
When are you being the city hoping that the building will reopen? Do you have a target date in mind? I know you're saying everything's just kind of in a holding pattern right now, but I think, didn't I read, I don't know, some email, not you guys are hoping for December 1st?
Yeah.
The council has approved this to reopen for rentals as of December 1st.
As of December 1st. Okay.
Port Robinson's given their own timeline, so that their board has said December 5th, just because they have some things that they have to iron out still in terms of what they want to do in terms of cleaning and reorganizing the facility.
Right.
So they're not exactly hitting the December 1st target.
Right.
So, but again, that's what I'm saying to you guys. It's ultimately your decision. Council has approved you to do that. If this board's not ready to open on December 1st, that's okay. But you guys need to sort of give us some guidance of what your expectations are. And we're happy to work with you. But ultimately,
Sorry, I apologize. With Zoom, you cut people off and I didn't mean to. Go on.
yeah, no problem. It's okay. Go ahead, Kyle.
No. So other than the requirement of one of us being there as the vaccination certificate police, what other requirements are there, either city policy or provincial mandate? Like I know that like at work for us, because like hotel and restaurant, like you always have people who like, we have to be, at least on paper, we're supposed to be walking through every hour and wiping everything down and you know all the touch points and blah 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 blah. Is that what you are, again, you, not you specifically, Curtis, but you, the city, is that what you folks are expecting or requiring as well? That it isn't just simply sitting there at the door watching who comes and goes, it's also walking through and consistently cleaning and cleaning and cleaning?
I can speak to that. So it's a little bit different in terms of what we're going to be doing because it's a community hall. It's not necessarily going to be a public function. So they're going to be invited guests and everyone's going to be vaccinated. So you don't have to necessarily, from what public health has told me, because I did ask them this question, is because it's a private kind of controlled environment, you're not having hundreds of people come in and out touching multiple things. People are going to be more or less directed to certain areas of the building or kind of limited in where they're going. And they're also probably going to be related to each other. Let's be honest.
Double vaxxed, because we checked that on the way in.
And double
Right.
vaxxed. So in terms of cleaning, the cleaning requirements aren't super stringent. Obviously, there's still going to be cleaning required after each rental, as was done last year, but it's not going to be like every single touch point needs to be done every hour of the rental. It's nothing like that, just because it is a controlled environment. If we were running festivals and craft shows there every weekend, it would be different. But because it's going to be a controlled environment with family, for the most part, or invited guests, it doesn't necessarily need to meet those standards. The only other thing that I would say is the contact tracing needs to be completed as part of the government legislation. So that list would either have to be provided to us before and we could do that however works best for you. If upon registration, they have to give us the contact tracing for all of the guests, we could do that. Or if they just want to sign a list when they get there and you guys take a photo and send it to us, or scan it and send it to us, or leave it for us in a designated spot in the building, that's fine as well. But we would also need those that requirement of the contact tracing for each household, one phone number.
Okay. Okay. Do you have, I don't know what people are using for scanning for the QR codes? Is the city going to provide whomever is there at the door checking with whatever device it is? I don't know.
It's not a device. It's an app that anybody can download on their phone, and it's compatible with Android and iPhone. And anybody can download the business app. It's just it's called Ontario Verify, COVID Verify, or something like that. Anybody can download it on their thing, so you don't need a special program or a special phone for it. And I know other places like the arena, like we're still checking paper IDs and paper copies too. So at the end of the day, if you guys don't want to use your personal phones, we can make the requirement that they have to show either a photo version of the vaccine receipt or a printed copy of it if you don't want to do the QR code scan on your phones.
Okay. Okay.
Can I ask what is the city's intention with this building? Is there any talk about it at council? I'm sorry I'm out of the loop, but say we don't agree to do this Q code, what transpires then? Is
I don't
my
believe
question.
I don't believe the two issues are related, but I know what your concerns are. At this point, we're going through an asset management review across the city to simply update us on where the assets are. And this isn't specific to Allanburg, but across all of our properties, but there's not been any specific conversations around any of our facilities. So
I'm going to say it's one of the biggest assets Allanburg has, built by the community. But
It's the only one.
if me and Kyle say, no, we're not going every Tuesday or Friday, like how long it's, I don't know,
that
a question.
ultimately that would be a council decision, but I don't think that needs to weigh in on this conversation. I don't think that's even on the table or even being discussed in the background. I think this is a conversation for the board to figure out how you want to operate under the COVID guidance. So
I was just looking for some input from the city, which you represent. So it might have been discussed in a conversation or something. And I don't know. I don't follow it. I'm just here for the board. I'm here and sorry.
yeah, no problem. I'm not aware of any conversations related to the future of the building. As far as I'm concerned, it's still ours, and it's ours until council tells us otherwise. So.
Okay. I mean,
Is there
right off
anything else on the agenda?
Well, right off the bat, I would say that, there's going to have to be a minimum notice period that, at least for the meantime, there can't be, same day, next day, really even the same week bookings, because, it is kind of based on, it's at least for now, it's going to be based kind of on our schedule. So
Absolutely.
I don't want to have to feel that I'm caught between, I was supposed to do something tomorrow night, but now someone wants to rent the hall. So
I'm there for 3 hours for karate.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going to cancel my plans. Yeah, what's with you in karate, Debbie? Jesus.
Line dancing. I know you hated that powder.
Yeah,
line dancing Friday nights.
Well, I'll be watching them, right? I won't be able to leave, so there will be no powder on the floor.
So you might as well line dance.
For a second.
Free line dancing.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Joanne.
So the board right now is only 4 members. What if we advertised for more members to be part of the board, so it relieves some of the booking stress off of the 4 of you?
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I've been a board member for more than 16 years. I did join through the newspaper, but through social media, we had people that wanted to join. They said, yes, yes, yes. Nobody ever did. No. And if they did, it was for a short period of time. Pat and Butch really took care of the place while they lived there. And it's like, kudos to you for suggesting that, but Jay stepped up, but
there's never a problem recruiting members, Joanne. I have no issue with that. But I think the second we say, oh, you've joined the board, fabulous. We need you to do blank. I don't think they're going to last long. I mean, we know what we've gotten ourselves into.
Wait, because you can't paint the walls if you step on a 3-foot ladder.
We're pretty tricky.
Sorry,
to recruit.
old school. So old.
It depends how tall you are, Debbie.
That's how old I am. I'll paint the hall. You're not allowed to step 3 feet up. Okay, these people, my parents built this place. Sorry, I'm so old.
I think it'd be real tricky to recruit people. It would almost feel a little deceitful knowing that, we're not looking to recruit members to sit around the meeting table once a month and provide input. We're recruiting people to
make sure people are double vaxxed.
Yeah.
Correct. Kyle,
say, no, you're not allowed in because you can't provide your papers.
Yeah, you're not an advisory board. You're a board of management. That's correct. That's the difference.
Sorry, what's that, Curtis?
you're not an advisory board. You're not simply sitting around the table advising. You're a board of management. So people would have to
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. Politics.
Mhm.
So, Kyle, so that's essentially, I think, again, we don't have to make every decision tonight. I'd like to sort of get some feedback from you guys, but again, you guys have a lot to talk about and figure out exactly what you want to do, if anything. So do we want to try to meet again? It's the 15th. So, if you want to try to meet again in a week or 2 weeks, or what do you want to do? Do you want to try to hammer it out tonight?
No, and not because I'm being crabby, but I think we all need to kind of let it simmer in our minds for a little bit and just think about, individually what it means. And try to think if we can come up with any ideas or solutions or just individually what we're willing to commit to right now. I don't think that it's fair to put any one of us on the spot to say, yay or nay. My own immediate personal reaction, other than the eye roll that you couldn't see about 25 minutes ago, was that, you guys want to, the city again, I apologize. When I say you guys, I don't mean you, Curtis and Stephanie and Joanne. You want to reopen, beginning of December. It's also the start of the holiday season. And I personally have a hard time thinking I'm going to have an abundance of spare time to sit up there and babysit people's family Christmas parties, because I'd like to be at my own Christmas parties. So I don't know if maybe we're being a little too ambitious by opening in December. I don't know, maybe January's better once, when we don't have anything to do anymore because we're all.
Okay, so Kyle, can I make a suggestion then?
Yeah.
Put a motion on the floor. If that's what you guys want to do, there's no issues on our end. That's understandable. Council simply gave us permission to open December 1st. If the board decides that it's not appropriate to do so and you would like to wait till January, that is the decision of the board. And it would simply be minuted and passed along to council so they're aware.
Okay. I know, Debbie, Jay, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think January would be better. January 1st as opposed to December 1st.
Yeah. What do you think, Debbie? Oh.
She's not there right now, but do you want to regroup in a month as per normal schedule and then talk about what you guys are available to work come January? Is that reasonable, or is that?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Yes, I'll second it. Sorry.
So you agree then, Debbie?
I agree. Absolutely 100%. January, the board moves to discuss it again in January, and we'll open it in January then. I'll second it.
Do you want to discuss it again in December to open in January? Is that what we're saying?
Or
Yes.
discuss in January to open in February.
Well, I think, okay, so let's say minimal, and I'll word this into a motion in a moment, but let's say minimally that we are going to continue the building's closure until at least January 1st. And we will meet again in, I don't know,
first
3
of January.
weeks. We'll have to meet before then. Let's say we meet again and we'll meet again in say 3 weeks, which would be the beginning of December, to see kind of how we all feel about moving towards a January 1st opening, which, I mean, I'm not going to sit there hungover as shit on January 1st so someone can have a kids party, I'll tell you that. But so maybe January 1st should not be the date reflected, maybe January 15th. But
well, we'll discuss that in December. But in the meantime, maybe you can keep track of how many people do call to try and book the hall.
And for what?
And for what? Do you know what I mean? So we're talking so we know the Seaway dogs want to come back, but so we know what we're talking about come January, if we're thinking reopening in January. But It's a lot to take in this evening, but I will motion to second it, whatever you keep it closed till meet in December.
Yeah, and Debbie, to answer your question, yes, we can keep track of who's looking for what. And then report
Absolutely.
back to you come mid-December and give you guys sort of a running list of here's the groups, here's the dates. Again, with no
Yep.
commitments, you guys can take that back and say yes, no, and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I think that's reasonable, Curtis, because, you know, if you're hearing, you know, if it's the dogs every Wednesday from this time or something, then maybe, you know, we say, okay, we can probably work around that. Is it too great? So let's just say in that particular case where we have one or two user groups, like the dogs or like, I don't know, Debbie's
Line
mythological
dancing.
karate group,
line dancing.
line dancing or something like that, who are wanting to become or return to being regular users. Is it too great a conflict of interest to ask one of their members to join the board so that they can be present for their own group's usage and not one of the 3 or 4 of us?
And who cleans the hall now afterwards?
Well, I guess it would. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I still have a job because we haven't cleaned the hall
Who
since
cleans
March.
the hall afterwards?
Yeah.
I'll have to discuss that with our cleaner, and I'll get back to you on that.
But to my first question,
So sorry, what was your first question?
well, is it a
About the
conflict
board
of
members?
interest? Is it a
Joanne?
conflict of interest to ask a member of a user group to put forth the name of someone to join our board, essentially for the express purpose of just monitoring their own group's usage, so it
COVID.
doesn't have to be one of us?
They did address that. She said no.
So that's right. So they would be part of.
She said
the
no, it's gotta
board.
be City Hall. Yeah.
They would be part of the board. So there
Yeah.
would be part of everything, not just their event. So they'd be.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that, say we're not going to torture them to sit on anything else. It's no different. It would be no different than me having to be there every Friday to watch the people line dance if one of them wants to sit on the board and monitor themselves. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be fine as long, like I said, they're going to be part of the board. They're going to be part of quorum. So if you have 8, then your quorum is now 5, right?
Roger
So
that. Okay.
just keep that in mind. Like they're if you want them there to watch their event, then they're part of the board and they're part of everything. It's not just for their event. They're there.
Okay, I hadn't considered that in terms of the quorum requirements. But okay, yes, you're right. All right.
So do
Okay,
you want me
so
to
can
read the
we
motion
adjourn?
that I wrote out?
Sorry?
Do you want me to read out the motion that I have written out?
Sure.
That would be excellent, and well done for figuring a motion out of what we were rambling on about.
Well, I don't know yet. Hold on. Okay, so this is what I have. That the Allanburg Community Center Board of Management meet in December to discuss reopening procedures and that, sorry, hold on. My baby's screaming.
No
And that
worries.
Allanburg Community Center remain closed until January 15th, 2022. And I have a mover as Jay and a seconder as Debbie. I can repeat that if you want, if Nova.
I just wanted to confirm the screen from Nova was part of the motion as well.
Sorry.
I think that's great, Joanne. Well done.
I think so too.
Sure.
Okay, so you just need to pass it.
All right. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed. Fabulous. So motion will pass. All right, that's good. So that buys us all some time and some stress-free Christmas holidays.
All right, guys.
All right, so
Nice
and then
chatting to you.
thanks guys, but Kyle, I sent you the paperwork, so have a look at the paperwork for the online booking stuff. If you have any
Okay.
questions, we can talk about it December 15th. There's no rush on it. Gives you some additional time to review it in case you have any questions.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
that works. Yep.
Okay, anything for roundtable, guys?
We're good.
No, okay, we're okay.
What's,
Kyle, sorry, yeah.
No, it may be what you're going to bring up anyway, but what has been going on in terms of, like, has there been any maintenance work? Has there been any stuff going on there? Like, over the last almost 2 years. Like I know during the first COVID shutdown, city staff who didn't have an arena to watch, like cleaned the snot out of the fire stations and painted and did floors, and they look stunning. Can I expect the same at the community center when I get in there?
We did not do that level of maintenance. It was clean just before the election to make sure that it was available for them. But beyond that, we haven't done any additional work. So,
Oh,
The east troughs are still dirty.
so the building's only been, so you guys cleaned the building, what, a month ago or so before the federal election? Is that it?
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So
All right.
again, we have a budget that's available to us to some degree till the end of the year, and then it will be reinstated for 2022. So if there's maintenance issues, let me know and I'm happy to address them.
Okay. Well, no one's like
Okay.
no one can get in the building anymore. So I have no idea what's going on in there.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, Kyle, we want to start going down that road and have you go in to have a look. Happy to do that.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap this up.
All right.
Have a good night, and we'll meet in December.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
care.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.